Welcome to the Mental Edge. As men, we pledge to live on the edge, to discuss all things we love about being men with an infectious transparency that's laced with just the right amount of man humor.
If you're on a journey to self-development and improvement, if you're a seeker of truth or want to find fulfillment and purpose while crafting a brave and successful version of what God has for you, then the Mental Edge is for you.
But I can't talk about any of that because of attorney-client privilege, and that's how this podcast will start. All of the opinions on the Mental Edge podcast are the opinions of the Mental Edge podcasters and their guests, and that's why...
It's so good.
That's funny. I'm so excited to have you in here, Jimmy. Normally we do a whole lot of talking in the kitchen, but life is just not talk in the kitchen-esque right now for me.
Sure.
But you can stay later. Because I like you.
Whatever you want to do.
Right. You can stay after we send Fernando to his worship practice. There we go. James Bannister.
Oh, man. What an introduction.
Mm-hmm. The amazing, very talented. Like, it's hard to even junior. And two of the most talented people in my life are to my left and in front of me.
It's awesome.
I got so many stories.
And Jimmy came fully branded.
Fully branded.
Fully branded.
I love it.
I brought gifts. I brought gifts.
He did. Edible gifts.
Edible gifts.
You can't go wrong with edible gifts.
They were delicious. Whatever that was, he gave me.
I love that this guy is a sales rep, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur.
Yes.
What else? What else are you? You're a master mechanic.
Dude, I'm just a regular dude.
Master mechanic?
He's a master mechanic. Like,
I knew about the welding. I didn't know about the mechanicism.
Yeah.
There is no thing that he looks at that he does not understand.
That's awesome.
That's false, by the way.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Some of the easiest overtime I've ever worked in my life as a mechanic
was watching me work
in the mill was right after he set up the job.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, what do I do? He goes, just blow on this. And we're done for 8 hours. I said I'd blow some dust off it because it was done already.
I love that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That
sounds like you would go above and beyond.
I like it.
At the job.
Sometimes, yeah, I would. Other times, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So.
But is that like inherently part of something you do, or is that something you work at?
That's who I am.
Okay.
That's cool. Take whatever I'm doing and I try to make it the best that anybody can ever aim for.
Absolutely.
I think towards the end of my career, I was a little jaded at the mill.
Well, that can
You've seen me at my worst, right?
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, man, I strive to be the best that I could be.
Awesome.
I told Earl Jones the first day I came on that I wanted to be his go-to guy. And then when I realized I was the go-to guy, I didn't want to be the go-to guy anymore.
Whoa. I didn't sign up for this.
So is something that, like, that's been part of you since you were younger? Yeah?
Probably early 20s.
Okay.
I was an underachiever as a kid. Didn't want to do too much overachieving. I had a stigma, I guess, to uphold. Didn't do much homework in school.
No.
Which was kind of weird because I'm like super over the top now.
Yeah.
I'm making up for it now.
Don't get it.
You know what I mean? So, I didn't carry any books in high school. Everything was in my locker.
It's crazy. I feel I'm the same way because after a while, I ended up... I think there was a certain time in my life where a certain point in my life where I just... Boom. It just clicked,
right?
And I'm like, you know what? I think I worked hard, but then I worked hard for a purpose at a certain point in my life. So that was kind of cool,
That is cool.
And it's good to hear that I'm not the only one in that realm or that happened to. Are you a region kid?
Oh yeah, grew up in Hammond.
Born
and raised in Hammond.
Hardcore.
Yeah, right outside the harbor, man.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
okay. Go to high school, Hammond High, or?
No, I went to Eggers for middle school, and then my parents sent me to Bishop Knoll for high school. I was in the Hammond High district, and my parents wanted to keep me out of trouble. So they sent me to Bishop Knoll, and I got in more trouble
Prep
with Bishop
school boy
Noel
right here, man.
He said
than
he
I
got
ever did.
He said he got in more trouble in private school.
It was bad. It was bad.
I don't know. Wait, he's like Tokyo Drift, like that kid that showed up at that prep school, and he's like,
yeah, exactly,
right,
exactly.
So you fit in like in the public school system, you were just like one of the guys, but in the private school, you stood out like a sore thumb.
It was bad. I always say I was a low-level criminal in public school.
Yeah.
And then when I got to private school, I was a Class A felon.
Come out of the math class with your hands up.
It was
my
nuts,
goodness.
man.
Yeah.
I don't know how I survived.
All the girls in the Catholic schoolgirl skirts thought Jimmy was the bomb, right?
Yeah, right.
Because he was the rebel.
Oh my, that new kid in the leather jacket and the handcuffs is so dreamy.
He was the rebel.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play sports too, or
I played
like
basketball.
That? Oh, did you? Okay.
For one
Bishop
year.
Noel is known for basketball. That's like
Freshman year, I played basketball on JV, and I was banned from sports after that because I beat up the dean's son.
Yep, here come the cops again.
So.
That guy's gone. Jimmy.
That boy makes bad decisions.
Yeah, it is what it was.
Yeah.
You know.
I usually ask, or Jay usually asks this later on in the show, but did you have a nickname in school?
Did I have a nickname in school? Junior, actually. Everybody
did
called
you?
me Junior.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
interesting.
One of my best friends is a guy that worked with my dad, and his name was James.
Okay.
So it got really confusing, and then everybody just called me Junior because we were
Very
always
cool.
together. You know. So
Yeah.
I'm a junior as well.
Yeah. That I was junior because when I went to Lake Station in '89, it was majority white, and when I said Fernando, they would say, Fernandez?
Yeah.
Hernandez? What's your name again? I'm like, just call me Junior.
Just call me Junior.
Are you a junior?
Yeah.
See, I'm not a junior.
You're not?
I'm not a junior. It's just my nickname. That's how it happened.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So
Sometimes it's real, you
Yeah.
know. Sometimes not so much. It's
not
cool.
so much, man.
Do you have siblings?
I've got a younger brother.
Okay.
He's 13 years younger than I am.
Wow. Me too. I got a brother 13 years younger.
Yeah,
than
we're
me.
not very close, which is unfortunate. And it's just strictly because of age.
Sure.
I moved out when he was 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's a great point, Jimmy.
I can't.
there was
I came
no
from
way. We were close when I lived at home, and
Yeah.
he was my
Yeah.
buddy. But once I moved out, the age gap just
Yeah.
it was too much.
And he's
Yeah.
a grown man now, ain't he?
Yeah, he's 25.
Dang.
Love him to death. You know, it's just we're just
Yeah.
not close like
Yeah.
we would have been if we had 3 years or something. On us.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It could be like you were almost grew up in different eras anyway, you know, like
yeah, absolutely. There's
So-
there's a little bit of a different parenting skill set too between the two of us. So he's still living at home with, which is probably the right way to do it.
Yeah.
I wish I would probably still been at home at 25.
25.
He's a good
Bank,
kid, man.
bank.
Yeah. Bank the money.
He's
Yeah.
a good kid. He's finishing up a dual degree at Ivy Tech.
Oh, nice.
So-
that's what I'm talking about.
Is
Good
he
job.
way mechanic
smarter
like
than
you?
I am. No, he's all computer stuff, man. He was big into video games, and he just rode with it. So he stayed with that computer
Gotcha.
side of things.
Made it count.
So Jimmy is like an early adapter to the MentalEdge podcast. Like he
Yes,
was one of
good
the
point.
very
Let's go.
first
I wanna go there. That's
people that ever listened to our podcast, encouraged us to keep going, to push
Yes.
forward,
Shared
shared for us, continues to do all these things.
Share.
70. What episode is this one now? We're at
This is probably 76 or
76.
76.
Yeah. So
That's incredible.
yeah. So, and this is the type of thing where he would just, this is incredible. I love what you wrote, or he'll
Yeah.
like add to the notes and
Sometimes what you would write was better than what we were writing.
Yeah. It's like whatever.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was very flattering and very important to us when you did it. Always.
Yeah. And something I just want to add to the little brother thing is like growing up completely separate is Gabriel, early adapter, listens to this show all the time. That's my little brother, and so I taught him about like hip hop and rap, right? Because I grew up in that, right? But then when he was going to school, Limp Bizkit and other so he wore like hip hop clothes, but had a mohawk.
Right.
Like a fire red mohawk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was like it was like a different feel and look, and,
right?
But so when you said there were so many, there's such a big age gap in I get it.
Yeah.
I was in college when Gabriel was 6. I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
So yeah,
That
I
is
get
a
it.
big gap, too.
I get it. So yeah, so definitely, I just wanted to add that and just let you know that I appreciate all the times you shared and just kind of push our
Dude, I don't
our
do
brand
it enough.
ahead.
I need to do it more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will pay you. I'm just being honest. No, I'm
It'll
teasing.
come. You guys have already paid me, man. The knowledge that you guys drop in these episodes is incredible, man.
Good. Look at him. He's crying.
I finally get to get caught up sometimes, like when I'm cutting grass is usually when I listen to the Mental
That's a
Edge.
good time.
And, it is a good time because I got a lot of time to think. So I don't listen to music anymore. It's always podcasts.
Yeah.
And
Very
you guys
cool.
are on the top of
And
the list for podcasts for me.
I appreciate you say that. And before, I don't want to forget this because I want to jump into talking about you, Jimmy, and talking about the challenge you did, and talking about a lot of things about you. But because of you, I only listen to 2 podcasts. Okay, hey, pull your mic cable. I mean your thing over your and get.
All right.
Yeah, that way it won't get into you. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh no, or don't. Yeah, if it makes noise, pull it away. But his was interfering with his mic cable. There's only 2 I listen to. One, a quality check. I will listen to ours every Monday morning on my way to work. Sometimes I get through it, sometimes I don't, because it depends on how long it takes to get to work. And I listen to Ed Milet because of you.
Dude, Ed Milet's podcast, life-changing.
He's a monster. Yeah.
Life-changing.
He's a monster.
I started
I'm glad
listening
I
to it
turned
too.
you on to
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to tell him.
I got turned on by him, so you got him.
Yeah.
and he
That's
got me.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Mr. Milet, your content is as good, if not better than ours, but our quality's gonna beat you. No, I'm just teasing. See, he has these incredibly interesting people, and I don't think right now he has them with him. So he doesn't have the advantage. His is always.
Right.
I hear a remoteness in his recording.
Right.
And I just love like what he tackles, and he's not afraid to say Jesus. He's not afraid to say
Not at
science.
all.
I love it.
Not at all. Ed's an incredible human being. And I just was listening to him on the way here. He had Tim Grover on his latest episode. And
Who's Tim Grover?
Tim Grover? You don't know who Tim Grover
No.
is? Oh my gosh. Do you know who Tim Grover is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. Let him
Tim
know.
Grover was Michael Jordan's personal trainer, Kobe Bryant's personal trainer, Dwayne Wade's personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
He is the ultimate guy to get you to winning.
Wow, I might have
So,
heard that episode. Is that an old episode or a new?
No, it just came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been on many other episodes.
Okay, maybe I've heard
He's everywhere right now.
But he just released a new book called Winning, so
Yeah.
that's why he's on everybody's podcast
I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna wait after ours.
I just heard a little article where he says Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were not his most gifted
Yes.
athletes.
Wow.
100%.
At all. He said not even close. Not even
even
the same
close to
ballpark. But what they had that was different is kind of like what I see in Jimmy and here, and what you're saying, Jimmy, is you're willing to do the hard stuff and work. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even in those hard to get through those hard situations. So I don't remember if it was him or someone else that said, "Hey, we'll see you at practice 3:30," but he doesn't tell you
What time? What
what
AM or PM?
AM or
right?
PM.
Yeah.
So guys will come rolling in at 3:30 PM, and he's like, "Well, what are you doing here? You already missed the workout." Yeah, it was at 3:30 AM.
awesome.
He says the day starts at 12 midnight. So anything after that is game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dude is intense.
He's the ultimate of hardcore.
Yeah.
Getting people to the next level.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So
And so are you.
Yeah.
You're hardcore, Jimmy.
This
are.
group is incredible.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But I said it.
I'm a little bit nuts. I think I got that nuts
Well,
stream in
you
me.
use it. I like the way you use it,
Dude, I
Bro.
think you know what it is though. I think I don't have a college education, so 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I've always felt like I had to work 3 times harder than someone with a degree
I had to.
Good
get
point.
to the next level because
Yeah.
I didn't have that piece of paper to
Right.
get me to that
Yeah.
notch. So I've always worked 3 times as hard as the guy next to me because I had to.
I met people with college degrees that can't read tape measures.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so to me, it's like that. I get, I own my own business. I don't have a college degree, but I get, resumes from people weekly with like impeccable resume. Like I'm looking at this pedigree, I'm like, wow. But then I look at their actual work, and I'm like,
You
ugh.
got fired from Taco Bell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
but
And there's
that
nothing
there
wrong with
is
it.
that little chip that you're talking about, that little thing, whatever
Yes.
that is, also drove me up until recently when I'm like, I could do it. I don't need the piece of paper. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And if they know me and they know like my work ethic or like what I'm capable of in my realm, not your realm, but in the things that then I get it. So when Jay tells me, so Bannister taught me some stuff about like welding just through, we were just conversating and, you know, I'm looking at some of the pictures of the stuff that he's, you know, he'll post a photo and I'm like, what is that? I just asked the question. And then it was like C3P250T. I'm like, man, way out of my realm. I was like, hey, good job, buddy.
You need to dumb that down for me, brother.
Yeah. But I appreciated it because it was exciting to you, so it became exciting to me just to see the post.
Sure.
Because I know it was exciting to you. So.
Passion is exciting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I love
to know something makes you tick. I love that you're all up in it.
Makes a big difference, man.
I agree, man.
Big difference. What do they say? If you're up late working and it's stressful, it's because it's stressful. But if you're up late working and it's not, it's because you're passionate about it. Yeah, it's a whole different thing, man.
I like that.
So
I like that.
I'm glad you said that, because sometimes I'll be editing in here and it'll be like 12:45, and I'll be like, it was just 6:30.
Yep.
Wow.
Passionate.
It's crazy. It goes like that because I love it.
Yeah.
Because I love what we're doing here.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah. So, Jim, do you know why I know I sent you some show notes. Do you know why one of the things I wanted to discuss to you, a few of the things I wanted to discuss with you?
I have no idea why you brought me on, Jay. There's no valid reason for you guys to have me on this show.
Oh, no, there is.
Other than you ran the well dry. There was no one else left.
No, that's not true.
Definitely not true. But
it's not true, but you are to me what Bill Cumby was to him.
Gotcha.
Which is you are a valuable listener who is incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Which that's the demographic that we love because if you breathe life into that, just think about how good that is even for us. Those are the men that are always striving to get better, and when you find out they're listeners, it's exciting for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy exciting for us.
Yeah.
And I witnessed you compete in something, and another thing that compete with Lynette in something, and another thing that I wanted to say is that I brought you here specifically to tell you that it's actually something that I suggested the listeners not do.
What is that?
Right. Well, he competed in a transformation challenge.
Okay.
And I can see that it's still working for you. Okay. But there's a lot to talk about when we talk about the transformation challenge. But there's some other dynamics I want to discuss, Junior.
Okay.
Because Jimmy Bannister's girlfriend is Wonder Woman. Listen up, 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 listen up.
All day long.
Yes.
I saw pictures.
Okay,
Yes,
so people who know Lynette.
There's no transformation challenge for her. She is just a complete living transformation, man. She's unbelievable. If you think I'm cool,
Yeah, she's crazy cool.
She's unreal.
She's a good hang, and she's like, you ever be around people who just don't know how awesome they are? That's how you guys are. You guys are like that. You guys are both like that, and she's definitely like that too. Yeah, I want to make sure she hears that.
And you talk about passion and motivation. That's all her all day long, man.
No, how do you live? How are you around that all the time?
It's incredibly easy and incredibly difficult.
It's incredibly easy and incredibly difficult.
I mean,
it's a manic depressive relationship in a good way.
It is
in a
very
great
good
way.
And what makes her so awesome and great is her consistency. She's always on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She does the same thing like she has to every day. I watch her eat the same breakfast every single day, and that's why she is the way she is.
Wow!
Because of the consistency over time.
Over time.
You know what I mean?
So what I love about her is, I noticed, and she's doing the transformation, you're doing the transformation with her. Was it for support? Or was it because you wanted to transform too?
No, it was really, I wanted to transform too. But I'll typically do anything that Lynette tells me to do. Have you seen her? I don't really have a choice. I mean, she can beat me up, dude. So it is what it is. But funny. No, it was an equal thing that we both wanted to do. And the challenge wasn't so much physical as it was mental, and that's what we were looking for. So
just physical, so the listeners know, and Fernando, you watched it, right? Did you watch the transformation a little bit, Fernando?
Yeah, a little bit.
I kind of chronicled it because I love how you shared it, Jimmy, because you shared some of the hard stuff. You didn't just share the photos of progress. You shared, hey, this is what I'm eating today.
Yep.
Right? And it all looked because you have an artistic background, because you're CEO and owner of Synergy Media.
Yes.
Right, guys, hit him up, look him up.
Yep.
Doing incredible work, and I even want to talk about that because you use certain equipment specifically, and it's cool to me because it'll blow their mind when they see what you use.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, to me, it's a selling point, but it's insane. But anyway, so you were able to make this food look. It was crazy. It was so artistic that even though it was probably healthy and didn't taste that great, it sure looked amazing.
It looked good, right?
Right? You're like, sign me up.
I'll tell you what the big deal was with that, how it looked so good and different, is I cooked every meal fresh.
Get up on your feet! Absolutely brilliant.
I didn't meal prep anything.
That's crazy.
And that was very hard. So finding the time to actually cook real food for every meal, that was really hard.
Jimmy, that's tough. So there was nothing done in the refrigerator that you microwaved?
Vegetables.
Okay.
We do like frozen.
But I mean that
vegetables.
main meat or
the main
salmon
dish,
or
the salmon, the mushrooms, the chicken. It was all fresh cooked every meal. Eggs.
That is an investment. That's a lifestyle change.
It was big change, and I'm not doing it now. But I miss it. It changed the dynamic of the food.
Okay.
So we used to meal prep all the time, and I loved it because it was easy.
Yeah.
But it was bland and boring.
Yeah.
You know? So when you start cooking meals fresh every meal of the day, man, it is so much different.
It is different.
It's easier to eat it too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably
really
more
is.
exciting and a little bit, but Jimmy,
You worked for it.
You worked for it,
right?
That's
So
a good. That's
the
your MO.
appreciation.
That's the MO.
That's the appreciation.
You appreciate
yeah.
it, and then you had to work hard for it. It took you 45 minutes out of your day, and that's the reward for your hard work.
Give me the goosebumps, and then we're talking about vegetables, and I got the goosebumps. That's that's awesome.
That's the metaphorically
Because
awesome.
metaphorically, but it's because like he enjoyed the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that made it that much more rewarding in the
He's
finale.
all about the process.
Yeah.
And you know who turned me on to that? Is Lynette's son, Taylor. Because he cooks every meal.
Wow.
He would come home from college, and he'd stay a couple of days on the weekend, and I'd watch him. He'd just make every meal. I'm like, dude, this dude is killing it.
There's no kid like him.
Yeah, he's making every meal
I was
fresh.
like,
It looks
holy cow.
delicious. He's loving his life. He's loving the food. I'm like, he inspired me to really start cooking
That is
fresh meals.
crazy.
And that's a true story.
Wow.
So hey, I love that he's a man's man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And imagine having to, like, you're a man's man, and the chick standing next to you's got bigger shoulders than you sometimes.
Every time.
So
Every
here's the
time.
deal, like, and then he still ain't afraid to be like, hey, and her son, I'm learning from him too.
Absolutely.
You know, because that's a family, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't wait to learn lessons from Tyrus, Felicia, and Ryder. I'm still waiting. When Tyrus came home and said, how long should I microwave my food? And I'm like, did you just fly some people across the country and you need to hear from me 35 seconds?
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. And I know, what do you got? I see something brewing in your mind there.
I was
Junior.
just, how does it feel to date a girl that's that disciplined? I think you alluded to it earlier. Is that what motivated you to get kind of, or you've always had that type of discipline as well?
I used to, and I lost it for a long time.
Okay.
Which is how I got to where I was.
Can you tell? Maybe we can unpack that a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you want to unpack it?
It doesn't have to get crazy. It could be a little, it doesn't have to. I'm wondering because I don't know.
I think the workload that I had at the time led me to not be disciplined in anything else, and all I focused on was work.
Oh, okay. So
you know what I mean?
So we'll reach that, or we'll talk about that a second. Mm-hmm. So earlier we alluded to you want to, I don't know. Do you want to call it perfectionism? Is that what you want to call? Do we call it that?
Yeah.
That's definitely a thread.
Okay.
Like and a core thread. If you had core strands, that's definitely in you.
It is.
So that benefited, but it also what?
It also hurt me.
Okay.
Big time.
All right.
Because I was so focused on one thing that I started lacking on other things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I do it all the time.
I would just lose time, or I would make the excuse that I didn't have time.
Yeah. I think 90% of the men listening to the show can probably definitely
absolutely. I think
relate to
there was some depression in there too.
Yeah.
That helps push you towards a bad spot.
Right.
And you just kind of give up.
Right.
And I just gave up.
Right.
So the transformation thing was really more about me getting back on track and giving Lynette what she deserves out of me too.
That's so good, Jimmy.
You know what I mean? Because she deserves better from me.
Listen to what I say.
And she wasn't getting it.
Gotcha.
That's cool, man.
I didn't realize how bad I really looked until I started seeing the photos.
Right.
And dude, that was hard too. So part of that challenge was you got to take a picture every single day.
Wow.
Every day. So if you missed a picture, you got to start over.
What?
Yeah. So there was 5 things you had to do every single day.
Break those down to us real quick.
So you had to take a progress picture every day.
1.
Every front of the mirror.
Day.
Boom.
Front of the mirror, front of the camera, whatever. It doesn't matter. You just had to take a progress pic to see your body changing.
Right.
Had to drink a gallon of water every single day.
Wow.
2.
Eat healthy meals. It wasn't a diet. It was just eat healthy.
3.
Yeah.
Doesn't care what you eat. You know, you're not stuck to macros or anything. Just eat clean, healthy foods.
Yeah.
Eat as much clean, healthy food as you want.
Wow.
Which is kind of what I did. I ate probably more food than I ever had.
Yeah.
And you had to do 2 workouts a day.
4.
One had to be outside
Okay.
for 45 minutes. And then you had to read 10 pages of a book every single day.
5.
All right. Before
That
I get,
is no normal challenge, Junior. Go on, get into it, Junior.
No, all right. So the workout, the outside workout, every single day, rain, snow, like it didn't matter. I don't know what the weather was like when you did it, but
Well, I'll tell you what. We started the challenge on January 1.
what?
Yeah, and 75 days. So
It was a
Wow.
75-day challenge.
we went through that whole polar vortex that
Yeah.
we had in March. Outdoors workouts.
Well, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Lynette hated
All right,
it.
fellas.
Sorry, Lynette, but Lynette hated it. It was the worst part of the
But that's okay.
challenge for her.
But she did it, right?
I
She
saw
did
you
it.
guys
She
on the
did it.
deck doing
She
things
did
on
it.
the deck.
Oh,
Like,
dude, Lynette went crazy with it. You know,
Yeah.
she went above and beyond the challenge too.
Wow.
And did things that she didn't have
Wow.
to do. And she would do things separate outside of my workout, and then she would get done with hers and then go with me on mine.
because she's a
just that
trainer
hardcore,
too, right? Yeah.
You know, but
That's nuts.
she does not like cold weather.
Yeah.
Or
She ain't got no fat on her. Ain't got no insulation,
doesn't.
girl.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard when you know.
and it was more enjoyable to me because it was more challenging to me because of the cold weather.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was.
Dude, you're a Navy SEAL.
It's
inside.
the
I'm just being honest
process.
with you.
Yeah,
So-
it's the process, right?
It is.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
probably
I would-
telling yourself, when you ask him, well, how many push-ups can you do? He's like, I could do around 100, right? Like
Yeah.
even though he's probably the best he's ever done was 60, he's already rounding way
going-
up.
I'm
You know what I'm
going-
saying?
I'm
On
going
purpose.
for it.
I'm
For
going
sure.
for it.
Since
Yeah.
you're talking about
That's
it,
that
I'm-
mentality you're talking about. That
Absolutely.
Navy SEAL mentality where you just gotta, champion your mind to go somewhere where it hasn't before.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
So-
I did put something really quick, funny together. A little fun.
go
I put
ahead.
the pros and cons of dating a fit girl.
Oh,
right?
no.
In this case, his fit girl. And this is really short, and I'll read
okay.
it, and then you can just tell me kind of like what you think, right?
Yeah.
So the pros, we alluded to. There's never a shortage of food.
Yes.
Healthy meals, right?
Yes.
Okay. You have an instant gym partner. You just talked about that.
Yes, I do, and I don't utilize it the way I should. So
He's got a nice gym in his basement, dude.
we do.
Yeah.
And that's
I
where
mean,
I did
world
all
class.
my indoor.
I love it.
That's where I did all the indoors.
right.
She does the F45 stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't really enjoy the F45
Right.
atmosphere too much.
What is
the
that?
workouts are good,
Okay.
but I'm not a group.
Okay.
I like being alone.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm a social
Me too. I like
introvert.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that seems to happen sometimes with like people like us.
Yeah.
Even though we are good in social environments, there's still that little. We like to be hermits every once in a while.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So buying gifts could be pretty easy. That's a
No,
pro. No.
absolutely not. Gifts are not easy at
No?
all.
Okay.
I don't know what to buy that woman.
I
Ever.
figured just some weights.
Ever. Usually,
Some bands.
usually it's candy. I buy her
Okay.
candy.
That's
you know?
cool.
So
All right, let me see.
Reese's.
Instant motivation, a pro.
yeah, it's a pro.
Okay. Not that
she watching her do what she does helps me keep
Good.
going to do
All
what I
right.
do because she gets up and does the work every single day.
Yeah.
You know,
cons. She's stronger than you.
100%. 100%. When we go to the grocery store, she's carrying 3 cases of water and I'm carrying a loaf of bread.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta embrace it.
Yeah.
So
This guy.
that's how it goes, man. Everybody's looking at her, you know.
This one is a little more.
And she's doing lunges while she's carrying it.
That's good. This one gets a little deeper, and it's like maybe has to do with insecurities. She probably gets a lot of attention.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's hard.
It's hard?
It's not easy at all. There's been very few times that it's been a problem.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's something on my end, not hers.
No, I get it. Yeah.
She gets a lot of attention that she doesn't even realize she gets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Women, ladies, you're a little clueless sometimes. I love you, but
she's an incredibly beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And wherever we go, people are looking.
Yeah. And then you add like a good physique to that.
Yeah.
And then it's instant.
yeah, and a great personality, like easy to talk to.
She's
That's
easy
the
to
thing.
talk to. She's just incredible.
Right.
When we go out in Valpo, she's
a celebrity.
exactly.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
So we can't
God
go
help.
anywhere without her knowing 17 people.
Gotcha.
You know,
Well, it
asking
takes-
for autographs.
I want to let you know, Jimmy, it takes a special guy
Yep.
to
Amen.
be able to like navigate that water. Okay,
I believe that.
It really does. And a lot of people, like my girlfriend Susanna is as tall as me. She wears heels. She's taller than me. And a lot of people are like, does that bug you? I'm like, no, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I like a challenge.
yeah, I like the way it looks. I like the way, you know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it. So I get where you're coming from. But yeah, when she walks into a room, it's like
I'm
they
very
turn
proud
heads.
of her, man.
Yeah.
Like, I want to show her off. I always show pictures to people, and they're like,
Yeah.
"You don't care that she's like half naked?" I go, "No, have you seen her?
Yeah.
Look at her, man.
Yeah, but
She's
that's
incredible."
funny you say that, Jimmy. Like that. What I love that about you. I love that. What's the opposite of insecurity? The security, right? The confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, it's born out of the fact that she loves you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
100%.
And it's born out of the fact that she should love you because you're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've probably processed it and even got better over time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Because-
100%.
and you're always gonna work at it.
Yeah,
It's just the way it is.
she's gonna get DMs from weird people, bro. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Whatever. I don't want to know what happens. To be
Yeah.
honest with you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
As long as she's laying next to me, it is what it is.
There you go.
She's
There
a
you
good
go.
woman.
Mic
And I
drop.
love
Mic
it. He
drop.
was like,
That was a good one.
I love it. He was like, hey man, like I want to make some changes for her too,
Yep.
And then you embarked on that journey, and dude, you transformed.
Yeah, big time, man.
You did. Jimmy.
Did you see the photos?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the
And
final one especially.
I normally don't post photos of me without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I really don't take my shirt. Even when I was fit, I never took my shirt off. That's something I've never done.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me big hurdle for me to overcome was posting that photo.
I thought
of
about
how
that.
bad I looked.
I thought about that when I saw you, Jimmy. I thought I'm like, for some reason it spoke to me. I'm like, I bet this was hard for Jimmy.
It was very, very hard.
Yeah,
It's like that sometimes.
First of all, even when you would probably in an era where you felt you were sloppy, you don't really wear it like you're sloppy. You don't really look less than fit. But obviously you can't really hide that. People do it well with shirts on.
Right.
For some reason, it's like some people you just can't tell.
Yep.
But when they take the shirt off, hey, the jig is up, bro.
Yep, it's there, man. There's no hiding.
But he looks great, man.
The photo a day thing was hard. Even looking at the camera. I ended up at one point. I used to do the selfie camera to do the photos. I turned it around. I couldn't do it anymore. Like I didn't want to look at it.
Wow.
I didn't even see the photos anymore. I just looked at it, hit save, and I was done with it. And I really didn't dwell on those until towards the end, and then you start piecing them together and look at the week to week.
Awesome.
That was big.
That's cool because I feel like that's a motivational tool toward the end where you're like, man, am I even, this sucks. Is anything changing? But then you have this reference.
So I also took it a step above too, and I weighed in every day, which a lot of people told me not to do, but I wanted the data.
Yeah, I like that.
So I weighed in every day, and after weeks of weighing in, the scale didn't move. It's discouraging, man.
Yeah.
But then you look at the photo, and you're like, there's a change.
There you go, people.
So, or your pants don't fit anymore. You know what I mean?
So there are
you're still
other-
weighing the same.
The scale is...
But the clothes fit different.
Not the best tool.
The pictures look different. The scale isn't a...
I mean, you're going to lose some weight initially, but then you're transforming it. You're literally flipping the amount of body fat you had versus muscle mass.
Absolutely.
So-
So when people are just harping on the scale, don't harp on the scale. It's not the only tool in the toolbox for you to use.
Yeah.
Also, probably you would know this better than anyone, along with with your girl that a body can change like every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one day your shoulders look amazing, the next day they're flat.
Yeah, there's fluctuation, isn't there? Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
So although, a lot of times we put a lot of like emphasis on, just because I'll give you an example. I know a guy that looks amazing that has, 6-pack abs, but, he does tons of drugs and doesn't eat healthy. And, a lot of it is just, it's a look.
It's going to look great in his casket.
Right. So I get it, and then you have some people that I've never I lie. I know one that, he's a bigger guy, and I went to the gym with this guy, and he doesn't get tired. He moves like I asked him, I'm like, man, like, how much do you weigh? And he was about to tell me like his real weight. And I was like, no. Like, how much do you weigh in here, in your head? How much do you weigh? And he was like, about $160. I'm like, he's probably like 3 times that. So he, but he could
awesome.
move. So I get that. And as far as like some people are walk around every day with their shirt off, and it's cool, like that's what they do. And then there's some people that don't, and I get that too, So
I was always insecure with having my shirt off.
Yeah,
it didn't matter what fitness level I was at.
Sure,
even when I was at 7% body fat, I didn't like taking my shirt off. I never really cared about how I looked. I cared about how I felt.
Yeah,
that's the best.
That's it, amen, right there.
I thought I was gonna have knee surgery. And after this program, my knee pain is
dude, that's
gone.
the truth.
No
completely
way.
Gone.
Oh, that is awesome.
For real, I was like, I'm gonna have to have a knee replacement before 40 years old, and it was just extra weight.
If you don't mind me asking, like, how far? What was the difference?
32 pounds.
What,
dude?
Yeah. Well, it was probably more than that because I really started doing some challenges before this one. So my heaviest was 240.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm at 180 now. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy,
dude.
man.
That's a 60-pound swing.
Yeah.
So what people don't get, okay, guys, go to the gym, pick up a 45-pound plate, press it up against your body, go grab a 15-pound, 20-pound, 15-pound dumbbell,
and walk up the stairs.
Somebody called a ambulance. Now I know that's evenly distributed all over your body, but that's what's wrong with your knee.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not where you were designed to be, to marinate at.
Yeah. No, not at all. And it was a big leaving the mill. Actually, is what I think shifted for me because I was very active at the mill.
Yeah, you were.
And then I went to a job where I was inside. I was at a desk for half the day. I was still working, but I wasn't doing physical labor anymore. Yeah. I took the stairs everywhere. Thank you, Jaime.
That's right. That's right.
For real, like I stopped taking the elevator and I would take the stairs all the time, and I just quit that activity altogether.
Right.
And I maintained everything else, and all the weight came on.
Man.
So,
that first time I saw a photo of me that shocked me was a transforming moment for me.
I bet
it happened. I looked at my wife and I said, "It's weird." I was like, "Do I look like this?" And she said, "No." And I'm like, whoa. That's when something clicked in my head about men, Jimmy, is that like the people that love us, if there's a threat of insecurity in us and they're managing that,
sure,
they can't even tell us the truth.
Right.
And that's the fear that welled up in me in that moment. And I know you had that moment when you're like, oh my God, this is the real photo, that first photo?
Yep. It was bad.
Man.
Yep. When you actually look at it and you look at that first photo, you're like, that's not me. It can't be me.
It isn't you, by the way.
That can't be me.
It's you without being you.
So, yeah.
It's a bad representation of you.
It is a bad representation. You're right, man. But it was definitely different, for sure. It was the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Worst shape I've ever been.
I mean, think about what's going on. Because you represent your own company now. You represent another company that you work for. And you're like, you're not just representing you, like, you are part of a package of life that you're representing.
Yeah.
And all those entities, including yourself, deserve the best Jimmy B.
Absolutely.
Including your girlfriend.
Yep.
And your kids.
I can't be the best me if I'm not the best me.
But don't worry, we're all going to make you feel comfortable on the couch.
Yeah.
And that's the battle we have, right, man?
Oh, yeah.
And we had a lot of that during the challenge. Or it's not really a challenge, it's a program. So
yeah, good. I like that.
We had a lot of that during that. Like, what are you doing this for? Like, you're doing too much. Well, am I? Or am I doing what is needed to be done?
Can we do that again?
Am I? Or am I doing what is needed to be done?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Some people think it's extreme, but it fell right in line with my mentality. Anyway.
It sure did.
So it worked out well.
Did you guys create it?
I need something to follow. No, man, I didn't create it, but the guy that did, everything that he says resonates with me. It's things that I've done in the past. It's things that I felt in the past. So I'm kind of mad at myself that he created it and I didn't, because it's how I lived anyway.
I agree.
Years ago, you know what I mean? So, and he's a high achiever, and it's all about doing the things that you need to do to feel good. Mm-hmm. So,
and achieve those goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't do the things to feel good, you don't deserve to feel good. You know what I mean? So,
wow.
That's not me, man. That's all Andy
good.
Frisella, bro.
Yeah,
so,
true.
If you're not doing the work that you need to do to feel
Yeah.
good, you're not going to feel good.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's truth though. The word that kept coming back to mind was discipline. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to sprinkle a little Jesus. Hebrews 12:11. No discipline is enjoyable while it's happening. It's painful, but afterward there will be a peaceful harvest and a harvest of the right living for those who are trained in this way. Jimmy is a good example of someone that continues to train in this way. He knew that he was falling off a period of your life where you're like, I'm not being my best self, and it's kind of like with diet. If I eat something Monday, you might feel weird, like something bad for you Monday. Yeah. You might feel really bad on Wednesday, and you're wondering why you feel bad on Wednesday is because like the fuel that you put in the car or in the body on Monday, it's running on for Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So 100%. Like all those things matter, and all those things are that's the challenge, and that's why the process is important for Bannister. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I thought about that. I'm like, man, it takes like some hardcore discipline, and like whatever you just said about if you're not doing it, you don't deserve it. How'd that go?
If you're not doing the work that you need to do to feel good, you don't deserve to feel good,
dude. That's so true, right?
This is so cool,
right?
Man.
We sometimes want things that we're not willing to work for. You call it the what pill? What's the pill that you call it sometimes that people watching late night TV will want that pill that gives them...
They want a magic pill.
The magic pill, right?
Because here's the deal, and they're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's why they try to sell it to you.
Yeah.
The 6-minute ad mentality, right?
Yep, absolutely.
It's
the easy route.
It's exactly what men want to hear, and when they're up at 2 a.m, they're the exact demographic that's going to buy it.
Yeah.
They're not the people that go, hey man, I got to go to bed at 8 because I wake up at 3 to run.
Right.
There is no magic pill.
Right.
And that's what I love about your challenge. And first of all, you just made me think of something funny. Is like the human body is the only thing, guys, that can go from, if you buy the premium fuel, it can go from a Chevette to a Corvette.
Yeah.
Just by the fuel you put in
Absolutely.
it, right? And the demand you put on it.
Yeah.
But what I loved about your, let's call it a program. Let's migrate away from the word challenge. I love what you said, Jimmy, is that it sowed mental development into it. It required that you read.
Yeah.
Think that's not by mistake.
Yeah. It had to be a like self-development book or a business book. It couldn't just be like a novel that you're reading.
Yeah.
It had to be a development book.
I read a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It had to be something more with more depth.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this whole program was built for that.
It was.
That was cool.
And you had to finish the book. So if you picked up a book and you didn't enjoy it, you weren't getting into it, didn't matter. You had to finish it.
Oh my gosh.
So that was really hard. When you pick up a book that you're not into, that's not stimulating to you, you're not getting too much out of.
You still got to finish it.
You still got to finish it, and you got to chug through it. Those were the hardest ones, was picking up the books that I just wasn't into.
How many books, Jimmy, in 75 days did you complete?
I think I read 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So you read sometimes more than the 10 pages required because you were enjoying it?
Overachiever, man. Yeah.
So, you weren't doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, no. There were some books that I would get into. I could read 50 pages and get done with it quick because it was so good.
He's like Bill.
So good.
Yeah. Bill does the same type of thing. Those are the type of
very focused.
You guys get into
all in.
Yeah,
guys.
You're all in
it's
type
a
of
flaw,
guys.
Man. It really is.
A flawed man.
Is it a flawed man?
But it's a flaw that if it still can propel you. You
Absolutely.
get it, Jimmy? I mean, you can harness the way to use it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have.
Yeah, I agree.
So
It's kind of like
100%.
I just heard somebody talk about people with ADHD where they're very hard. It's really hard to get them to focus. But this guy said, well, the truth is that they're hyper focused on something that they're doing.
Right.
Good
So
point.
imagine if you have someone that's hyper focused at one thing, and when they're doing that thing,
Man.
you know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah, what
going to
a
be
great
really, really
perspective.
good at it. Yeah, that perspective kind of led me to think differently about it. I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. Sometimes they just don't see it as either challenging enough or maybe interesting enough. But it seems like this program helped you, and I feel like he's been doing these types of things ever since that point in your life where you changed from high school thug to Jimmy Bannister, the guy that's doing all these other things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And starting his own company, working out, going through this program. I think you got more than one job from my understanding, because I know that you wear another shirt and hat with a different logo on it. And what's
Armor Construction.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
A sales rep, project manager for Armor Construction.
That's every time I see the Armor Construction billboard
Billboards.
on the highway, I think about you.
On 2894, I think.
Yeah. And it's crazy that you get to use a lot of these different superpowers to help with that company, to help with your company. You alluded to some of the equipment that because I'm like, I never look at roofs the same again after you see a Jimmy Bannister photo of a roof. You never look at roofs again.
See how he puts his own special spice?
Yes.
The whole last episode was about sprinkling your special spice and what you do, even if it isn't like the thing that you're so passionate about.
Right.
But you're still going to go in head first.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm not really passionate about roofs, but I'm passionate about photography.
I know.
Okay.
When I photo a roof, I put heart into it.
Yeah.
I know.
I really do.
Yeah, and the little videos, that you put together when the guys are working or you're showcasing a certain thing.
Dude, those guys talk about mentally tough, and work. Those guys really, they make or break you.
Wow,
those guys work.
Those are
really
hardcore
hard.
dudes, man.
Yeah. You ever get up there with them just to mess around and?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm on every job, whatever job we have going on. I check in on them periodically throughout the day, make sure they don't need anything.
Gotcha.
Make sure things are going smooth for them. Make sure I don't see anything that they're not seeing because they're so close to the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
sometimes when you're married to a job, it's hard to, like for me in the design world, if I'm just putting graphics together, sometimes I'm not really good with spelling.
Oh man, you gotta have someone look at it.
You gotta have somebody look at it. So I get it. That makes sense to me.
And like the live videos that I was doing, I really just want to educate people on the roofing process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it's I don't know, Jimmy. It's good what you're doing.
How'd you get involved in that? Or
so last year when the pandemic hit, I lost my dream job. I guess you'll say, and I was doing photography on the side for Armor.
Okay.
Just taking pics for them, trying to help them with their social media. Just build a presence with them. Yeah. And when I lost my job, I told them, hey, I'll have more time to do some cool photos and maybe some videos. And they started asking what was going on. And I told them, and they said, well, we need help. So I got laid off on a Thursday and I went to work with Armor on Monday.
Wow.
Just really seamless, organic transition.
Yeah.
And I was I didn't know if I wanted to dive into that world. My whole life, 20 years, I poured into welding.
Okay.
So I completely changed gears. You know what I mean? I left everything I knew.
Pretty quickly.
Like instantly.
Instantaneously.
But I didn't know.
Man.
It takes a special brain, though, to do that.
But he's an all-in guy, and that's not normal behavior for an all-in guy.
Wow.
And I didn't know what was going to happen.
gears.
I didn't know when I was going to find a job again.
He's adaptable.
So
another superpower.
I jumped all in. And what I should have done was, like everybody else, and I just sat at home and collected unemployment with that stimulus money, man. Yeah. But I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I went all in with Armor, and here we are.
It's been awesome. And look how it's catapulted you, with your
100% truth. Armor is why Synergy exists.
Exactly.
He pushed me to do that.
I love it.
Wow.
100%.
Did he mentor you a little bit in the business realm?
Yeah. So to be on board with Armor, you had to file for your own LLC anyway. So I have two businesses. I have the Bannister Group, and then I have Synergy Media. So even though I'm representing Armor Construction, I'm the Bannister Group. He pays me as the Bannister Group.
So you're like a contractor,
yeah.
right? Okay.
And had he not done that, I would have never known how to run a business.
Right.
You learned all the...
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So he pushed me into doing that. Not pushed me, but he guided me into doing that. That's how he operates. It's a great thing. And during the winter, he said, hey, man, you should really look into doing something else when it slows down, because it's going to slow down, which it didn't. It never slowed down. So we talked about the photography thing, and I love doing this, and I want to keep pursuing doing that. So we did Synergy Media, and just as soon as I got everything like settled and figured out with Synergy and got the logo done, the season just took off and hit.
That's
so
crazy.
I didn't really have a whole lot of time to put into
Synergy
photographing for Synergy. I took a few jobs for Synergy, but I had to turn a lot away just because I don't have the time.
Can you unpack a little bit more about Synergy? Yeah. Just tell us a little bit more about that company and like what your specialties are, and maybe some of that, the passion and things that you like to do, how they materialize into the work.
So I don't really have a specialty per se just yet.
Okay.
I'm not turning anything away, any type of project away, because I don't know what my specialty is. I just know that I have a passion for photographing things.
Okay.
I think the direction that I wanted it to go in is to help people brand their business and themselves.
Brand development.
And their brand development through photo and video. I think that's the direction that I want it to go.
It's good to know.
But man, every project I take on, I enjoy. So
yeah, that's so cool.
I did a real estate shoot that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I did a senior session that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? So I don't know where my niche is really going to be, because I just enjoy photographing so much.
Yeah. That's cool.
You might be nicheless.
I might. I don't know. I'm getting ready to film a wedding. I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
So,
I heard about that.
Did you?
My daughter called me all excited.
She did?
Yes, she did.
Oh, it's your daughter?
My daughter's wedding. I'm so glad, man.
I asked her, I said, if Jay's paying for it, it's going to be very expensive.
We're going all out. We're going all out.
Send me the bill to this address.
We're going to get a helicopter for this.
Oh, yeah. We got no drone.
Wait.
We got a Black Hawk.
Okay. I did want to get into that, though, because you've already said it twice. Mm-hmm. You've mentioned drone. You mentioned unconventional photography. Yeah. You've mentioned, so I want to get into that. Tell us a little bit about that.
The unconventional side of it?
Yeah. Set it up.
Set it up, You are Jay. The master of using what?
Of what?
This right here. The iPhone.
The things that Jimmy attaches to this iPhone, it don't even look like an iPhone when he's done.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's how.
It's crazy that he's.
So when you do roofs, you just throw the phone in the air.
Great, an amazing drone.
Yeah,
I just mess it.
I just mess with drone too.
I do the drone, and I do with this as well. Attachments everywhere.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's got attachments in his
carries
pockets,
this stuff with him.
This is my ultimate favorite lens for this thing, and it's my very favorite. So it just attaches. I think, Fernando, you asked me about these at one time.
There it is, right there.
So that's it, man. They make a bunch of different attachments for these things, but this is my ultimate favorite. And it's a macro lens, man, for your phone.
Yeah,
so you really get in deep, cool macro shots.
Stupid detailed
this is really
shots.
cool. So this has actually propelled the roofing business for me too.
Oh,
this is my secret weapon. I probably just gave it away, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's just a level of detail that probably people don't realize. They're looking at the photo and they're like, "Why is it so amazing?"
What is that? Yeah.
They just don't know. People know it's amazing, but they don't understand why. You get it? I mean,
yep.
But it's also, I mean, it's not just picking up a phone and taking pictures.
It's absolutely not. That's right.
I would say that 20% of it's picking up the phone.
Yeah.
The other 80%'s on the back end editing. And
there you go.
Putting your creative, artistic,
just the eye
twist on it.
Having the eye.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I've seen some of the pictures that you've. I don't know if it was you and your girlfriend, or if you shot someone else. You guys were in a forest, or did you take pictures?
No, that was what started the whole thing with me taking on work.
Okay.
A friend of ours asked us to go to Tennessee to take their wedding
That's
pictures.
what it was.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So when I saw that,
great.
I would have never thought that was.
That was my phone.
Wow.
100%
Dude, it's
my phone.
Yeah.
When I posted those, my inbox went crazy.
Wow.
It got put onto. We were in the Smoky Mountains. It got put onto a Hiking the Smokies page.
You're like, that's my photo.
People from Tennessee were calling me and asking me to come to Tennessee to take their photos. And I said, listen, it was with a phone. Yeah. And they're like, no, it wasn't. They couldn't believe it.
You know what?
So
if the end product, though, is amazing.
Yep.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter
what it is.
Yeah, how you got
the
there.
master of what you use, and that's what's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then get to editing, man. It's so exciting.
I went full on out with this thing, man. I learned everything I could about making phone pictures look good.
That's crazy.
I can tell
that is $1,000 camera though.
Yeah, it is $1,000. You're right. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
But I can tell the difference when I'm looking at my phone photos versus like my digital camera photos. I can tell the difference, but a lot of people, they can't.
No.
Yeah, the bottom line is you do have other tools, but you also know how to use this incredibly effectively.
Yep.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?
I just thought of a project that I'm working on that I gotta talk to Synergy Media about.
There you go.
I literally just hit me.
Let me know, man.
Yeah.
And if you ever need help with the phone,
Yeah.
I can teach you the tricks that I learned.
Yeah. I'm so glad. All right, so we covered synergy. We covered armor, right? Armor.
We covered Lynette.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cover Lynette too.
Oh, here we go. You know what? There's one other thing about the challenge that I want. Do you know why challenges scare me? Or
I know exactly why challenges scare you. Because I'm in it right now.
Yeah,
I'm in that zone where everything fell apart.
It's such a commitment that I worry. I love when people use it as Kickstarters.
Yeah.
But when it's such a level of commitment that it's unsustainable, the fall off is like when your carbohydrate,
right.
You know. So it scares me a little bit. Like I love what I love. Yours was a full development kind of thing, Jimmy, and you have a new zero.
Right.
Okay. Some people don't do that, but the thing that always scares me is that people will say, "Well, look, I just got to get in shape and I just got to transform here because my 25th class reunion is in June." Mm-hmm. So they give themselves an end date.
Right.
And when you give yourself an end date, you're done.
You're done. So it doesn't scare me, Jimmy, if people integrate those changes in their life forever. Mm-hmm. Right.
But the extremes of them sometimes makes them unsustainable, and people they just fall off completely.
So for me, I'd recommend this program to anybody. If you think you can't do it, just do it. It doesn't matter if you fail. You just start over.
Yeah.
I started over at day 7 because I failed.
Wow.
So I actually did 82 days or 83 days, whatever it was, because I failed on day 7. But being a program, I need something to follow. Mm-hmm. It's like a sports program, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Like when I don't have anything going for me, I don't have nothing to train for. I need something to train for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I lost that for a long time. I didn't have anything to really train for.
Yeah.
So I need to follow a program. And this is kind of like an athletic program. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You put in the work. It's like going to football practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like going to football practice. I like that.
If you don't put in the work and you go to practice, it's something you do every single day. You get trucked, right? So I need something to follow like that. Yeah. So when I got out of sports, when I got out of racing, I had nothing to work out for. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was always working out for something. It was
motorcycle
racing. I'm like, wait,
here we go.
And for the record, I didn't really race. I just went to the track days and things like that. But I trained for it. You know what I mean? Because it was very taxing.
He's an incredible motorcycle rider in general.
Oh, okay. Like motocross or
No, road racing.
Okay. Okay. Jeez, that's crazy.
And I wasn't that good, but
he was his own mechanic.
You trained, right? Yeah.
I just enjoyed the process again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See what I mean?
So I enjoyed changing the oil on my bike every weekend. I enjoyed doing the maintenance on it. Yeah. I enjoyed the atmosphere. I enjoyed learning how I could go faster in a corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
wow.
But I needed something to train for.
Yeah.
And when I stopped having things to train for, I was done for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So this is kind of a program of giving you something to train for again. But I am back to where you talk about falling off. I haven't worked out in a month, but I've been very busy with work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is another excuse, which I need to get back on the train of doing what I need to do.
This is why we wanted to talk with you, Jimmy.
Yeah. And I haven't felt good for a month. You know what I mean? I've been off. I've been having a really bad 5-6 weeks. Yeah. And I think it's because I'm off of my program.
Yeah.
I'm off of doing the things that make me feel good. Even in high stress times, I still had that constant of I'm doing everything I need to do to feel good physically and mentally.
Yeah, because you're worth the investment, Jim.
And I could handle that stress differently when I had things going right.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy. I was just right before you said that, I was thinking to myself, when I'm going and I'm doing good and I'm on track, I'm feeling good, things are going well. But when I fall off track, right, and like you said, you haven't been to the gym in a month or whatever, and I fall into that like that trap. Right? Does like my body starts aching?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, what the heck's wrong with me? Yeah. And so fellas, discipline. Use it to your advantage, right? Use those motivators to get you. Like Jimmy's talking about it right now. There's no doubt in my mind that he heard what he said.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get back on track. And he's going to do the things necessary because he wants to feel good. Who doesn't want to feel good?
Yeah, he's still 60 pounds lighter than he was.
Yeah,
yeah. You're going to see him on YouTube. You're going to be like, he's pretty hot.
Yeah. My knee doesn't hurt still, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
That's good. Yeah, but
the level of stress that I'm under, I can't handle it the same way that I would have if I was on top of my game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things are affecting me differently.
It makes a difference.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, people don't realize the way you dress, the way there's a certain confidence, a certain swag that allows you to you feel those ways because of like what's going on in your life, the food that you're putting into your system, the way the way you're taking care of yourself, hygiene, working out, like all those things matter. You know what I'm saying? If you just
Absolutely.
and believe it or not, like if you walk into a place and you look like a bum, the other people that are like, let's say you're going in for a job interview and you're going up against a guy that's presented well, you might have the edge, but if you go in there looking bummy, the guy doing the interview is going to be like, this guy might not have the discipline to cut out to get what I need finished.
Yes.
So all those little things in the micro matter for the macro, for the bigger stuff.
Yeah, you're not going in there looking for the good job. You're going to win the great job.
Yeah.
You guys don't sell yourself short, man.
Right.
Everything you do in life, you do better when you're fit. I'm just being honest.
When he came out of the car
100%.
today, so I drove up and I've never personally met you. We've known each other. We've talked through social media and other stuff. We follow each other on social media, but I've never actually met him. And I come around the corner. His car is immaculately clean. First, right, and then he comes out shining just as much as his car.
Branded.
That's branded, and that's the first thing that I said. This he's on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
we love it.
Exactly what I just was talking about, and we all said in this podcast kind of manifested itself right when I met him before we even came on. Yeah, it's all over you. So
Excellence,
that was cool.
It's all over you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, it is. It's all over you, man.
Yeah.
Excellence. Yeah. We got a long way to go for excellence, but
we're all going that way.
We're working towards it.
We're working towards it. That's a good
it.
place to sum this up, right? We're working towards excellence, fellas. You're worth the investment. Take a challenge for a kickstart. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
But know that it's going to be hard when you come off. So what is your new zero?
Yeah.
Right? Like keep it in check. You got to keep it in check because you will not have areas of your life where you can dedicate 75 days. Right? So but hey, you don't have to look like you dedicated 75 days every day of your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But there is a level you want to be at. And get there, marinate there.
Yes.
And that being said, you got anything else for him?
No. I mean, unless you want me to rapid fire.
Throw a couple rapid fires at him.
Man,
rapid fire.
Rapid fires.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, real quick,
for this.
before I say that though, the verse that I alluded to earlier, I was part of a program called Fight Club. Okay, it sounded a lot like what you were talking about. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I wonder if that's what he was doing, and. Except I think it was a little longer, and that was one of my memory verses. So I thought of it, and then I didn't want to mess it up, so I just kind of looked it up real quick. But so that was part of.
If you guys want to do this program, it's called 75 Hard.
I love it.
It sounds hard.
So anyone who's listening right now,
right?
75 hard.
And it's the kickstart to a year-long program that you're supposed to continue on doing.
That's incredible.
Okay?
And that makes so much sense.
So there's a lot more to it.
Wow, Jimmy. Thank you for that.
And if any of the fellas do the 75 hard, hit us up. We want to know about it. We want to hear about it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Rapid fire questions.
I should have prepared.
Pew.
Rapid fire.
No,
that's the whole idea. You don't prepare for it.
All right.
Come on, Jamie.
So before I start the rapid fire, I just want to let you know that any answer you give we're not nailing you to that answer for the rest of your life.
Nope.
Awesome.
You can literally change your mind tomorrow. You can change your mind an hour from now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I may change my mind in 3 seconds.
Yeah,
after I say
yeah. It happens, right? That's life, though, right?
Wait.
That's real life. All right. So I'll start with something easy. Do you binge on Netflix specials, and if so, which ones?
All the time. Specials, I don't really know if it's a special, but Stranger Things we binged on.
Oh man, that's a great one.
The Walking Dead we binged on.
Oh, that one's mine. Like I like the one.
We just watched Life in Color, which is awesome. I recommend that to anybody.
Okay.
I gotta check that out.
It's all about nature.
Oh,
and
I started watching that one.
the colors of different animals and
Really?
the role it actually plays.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. All right. Last meal on Earth. What are you eating?
Last meal on Earth. Probably some type of vanilla ice cream. 3 years ago, I became lactose intolerant, so I can't eat ice cream anymore.
So if it's gonna be one
let's go.
I get it.
That is hilarious.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Superpower, man. Probably be whatever Wolverine's got with his self-healing.
He never dies, right?
He never dies.
Yeah.
I just
never die.
That way I can keep going.
You're
I
right
can
up
heal
Wolverine's
faster.
alley,
You know
dude.
what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. What advice would you give your 12-year-old self?
Don't follow anybody else's advice for what you believe in.
Wow.
Follow your own path.
Are you one of those follow your gut guys to an extent?
To an extent.
Yeah.
I'm also a follow what other people think is best for me.
Okay.
And I had to get away from that.
Gotcha.
That's why I went to school.
Right.
It wasn't
right.
my path. It was someone else's path for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. That makes sense.
yeah.
Happiest memory to date?
Happiest memory to date. It's got to be something with Lynette.
Wow.
She changed everything for me.
Game changer.
Most influential person in your life?
Most influential? My dad.
Your dad?
Stepfather. But
Okay.
that's the only time you'll
That's
ever
your dad?
hear.
Yeah.
Wild Bill.
Yeah, Wild Bill.
Wild
We
Bill?
call him to work.
Technicality, he's my
incredible.
stepfather, but you'll never hear me say that other than
Yeah. Just
He's a
that
deep dude,
technicality.
man.
He's
Yeah.
my father. He raised me. So,
Is there like a certain lesson that maybe you would share?
work ethic?
Work ethic?
Yeah,
Awesome.
100%, man. That guy, he
There's no doubt about it.
works circles around me.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Even at whatever 63 years of age he
He's
is now,
incredible.
he'll work circles
I know
around
him personally. He's incredible.
Oh,
So-
do you? All right. Do you have a biggest fear?
Biggest fear? Dying without doing anything important in life. You know, I don't want to leave this earth without making an impact.
An impact.
And
I
I felt
love
that's where I've been previously,
Okay.
you know.
That's awesome, man. Can you do any impressions? You knew that one was
Man,
coming.
Dang, dude. So I do a lot of impressions with Lynette, but I've never done any in front of anybody else.
Right.
So I don't
get
really
it.
know.
Lynette's going to be watching. Just
yeah.
pretend she's here.
I'm like the president.
So I like to creep her out sometimes. You know? So
All right.
do the Bill Cosby. You know?
Yeah.
Who wants a Jello pudding pop?
First one.
You know, so yeah, that's right, man. Let's go.
Thank you.
So, there you go.
awesome. That is the first one in how many episodes?
I thought when he did that, when he said he was going to do a Cosby, I thought he was going to put something in my drink and then take it.
Yeah, right. So here,
But I like your
Jay.
version
I like
better.
Bevan.
Here, Jay, would you like this cup of coffee?
Oh, man.
That's awesome, man.
Funniest thing you've ever read about yourself? That was actually that. I like the Jello pudding. That was funny. I like yours too.
That I'm a fast learner.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
So you
probably
have to
the
work.
funniest thing. Oh man.
You have to work.
Man. What people don't understand about me?
Yeah.
People. I've heard this many times in my life. Oh, it must
Yeah.
be nice to learn everything so quickly. It takes me the same 120 hours it takes you to learn something.
It just started for me right now.
I just do it in 3 days. Okay, I put 120 hours in 3 days. That's what they don't get.
Yeah. Who else is that?
So-
David Goggins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the mentality.
He's right up
The only
Goggins.
person that understands that is Lynette. She's the only person that's ever like really
You haven't
witnessed
slept
it.
yet?
Yeah, she's like, "What? Are you coming to bed?
I haven't blinked.
Why are you still up?" Like, I'm sorry.
Person you'd like to have coffee with,
Ooh, that's a
live or
tough-
dead, it doesn't
that's
matter.
That's a tough question, man.
Yeah.
Person I'd like to have.
You could
coffee
change it.
with.
Remember, it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, just whoever pops in your head. You don't gotta. I mean, you could change tomorrow.
Alive is probably Ed Milet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd really love to.
You
to
turn
talk
me
to
on
that
to
down.
Jordan
man.
Peterson too, though.
Jordan Peterson's good too.
That guy's a beast.
Yeah. There's a
There's
lot
a
of
bit.
people I'd love to have coffee
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good choice.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite movie?
American History X.
that was a
movie.
That movie was really cool.
Gosh,
Yeah.
life-changing movie.
Was for me. So when I was 17, I thought I was racist. You know, I really did. Like, I learned hate.
Yeah.
And I watched that movie, and it changed my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it totally flipped things around for me.
What a great actor. What's his name? Ed Norton.
What a great answer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Like
He did.
I'm talking about him. You
for
knew.
real,
Yeah.
it changed my life.
That was a moment in time that
I went into watching that movie thinking it was going to be awesome and hateful.
In a different way. Yeah.
It changed.
And it changed my life. Wow. It really did, man. It changed my whole perspective on everything.
Yeah.
I didn't learn hate until I was about 14 years old when I moved to an all-white neighborhood.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up in a very diverse
Yeah, that's wild.
Then I
crazy.
moved to an all-white neighborhood, and that's where I learned hate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
it was
crazy.
weird. So
Wow.
I'm glad I got out of it.
Yeah.
Amen.
A lot of people didn't.
Who do you go to for advice?
Lynette.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How
I ask
awesome
her
is that?
everything.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's cool. That's cool.
She's my ride or die, man.
And then this last one I'll preface by saying, like, so if you left this world and you had you could only leave 3 words on a piece of paper, you can't leave anything else, what are the 3 words that you would leave?
That's a tough one, man. Just be you.
Come on and shoot.
Just be you.
Yeah.
Just be you, man. That's
Did you
what I
see
would
Junior's
leave.
reaction to that?
Just be you.
It almost wasn't even all the way out of your mouth, and he knew it was a home run.
Yeah.
Do you know why, though?
He baffled it for you.
I love it because it's consistent with everything Jimmy Bannister brought to this show today.
Be you.
Just be you,
It's
man.
literally, it's like he encompassed everything that he put in the show into those 3 words, and it kind of hit home.
Thank
hit
you
home.
guys for bringing me on.
Yeah, that was
we
cool.
love
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I was so stoked when I got that text from Jay. I think the phone did a couple backflips. What? You know what I mean? I'm like, this is so cool.
That's
man.
cool.
I thought he was playing. I thought it was
No.
I told you, didn't I? April Fool's was last month, man.
So and that he had told me this before that. We just had to take care of a few other people.
Yeah.
And before he fit you in. So he already, it was already ahead of time.
Never had any expectations of being on the show ever.
You know what, Jimmy? Isn't that part of kind of like how you take on life? You probably don't. I mean, you have there's expectation, but then you really don't have expectation. Like you do a lot of stuff for your girl, and do you expect anything in return?
I don't.
Right.
Right.
Well,
it's just part of you.
I expect her to love me, just be real with me. But I've never. We had that conversation last night.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh,
so
there
like
you go.
I've never. She made dinner last night. She goes, "Don't expect this." I've never expected you to make dinner. Like I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to feel like you have to make dinner every night.
Yeah.
Right. That was cool though.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much,
What a
man,
great
for
episode.
for coming on.
Dude, thank you for having me.
Remember how we ended
I learned a lot.
I'm glad to finally meet Fernando too.
Yeah.
I think I remember how.
Remember how to get. So I'm not even gonna. Normally I give the talk. But I'm
we're not gonna give a talk.
Are you ready?
Yep.
My name is Jay Casey.
I'm Fernando Lopez Jr.
I'm Jimmy James Bannister.
This is the Mental Edge podcast.
And we out. We out. We out. We out. We out. We out.